Welcome back to Market Pros, and let's get into it. So here we have Bitcoin on the 1 hour. As you see, quite the volatility today. FOMC meeting happened, and yeah, as you see, we had quite the pump, quite the dump. Wicks on both sides, taking out a lot of people, a lot of opportunity, but it depends on how you played it. So let's go over the chart layout real quick so you know what I'm seeing. So you have your moving averages here, these lines, colored lines. 21 being your yellow, 50 being your red, 100 being your blue, and 200 being your purple. Next, we have your VPVR here to your right, which measures horizontal volume at a certain price level. Basically, how your volume is horizontal, this volume is vertical. Your regular volume is vertical. This volume is horizontal. Then we have your momentum oscillators, one being your RSI, the other one being your MACD. Then we have a volatility measurement, which is called your BBWP. Okay, so your moving averages did have that multi-crossover telling you to go long. If you have not seen my strategy, one of my strategies where I use this multi-moving average crossover combined with momentum and volatility, go watch the video trade breakdown. It will explain the strategy. You can copy it for your own. And yeah. So your moving averages did fan out. Now it looks like your 21 and your 50 are starting to curl over. You are being held up by the 50 right now. As soon as you broke down below that 21, you cracked down, touch that 50 real quick. Like we were talking about, if you broke the 21, you'd probably come down to the 50. Momentum oscillators. RSI went from the bullish control zone all the way to the bearish control zone after having a drive of bearish divergence. MACD, fresh cross to the downside, negative momentum is printing some dark red bars on the histogram, so the momentum has cascaded to the downside. I would expect some sort of bounce here on the top of the bearish control zone. And but honestly, if we enter that bearish control zone, that is not going to look good, especially if we break that 50 at the same time. I could expect us to come down to around 17,350 to 17,450. Yeah, and I mean, at that point, I would expect some sort of bounce, but if we fall below that, probably going to come back down and test the 100 and the top of the smaller range at 17,280. BBWP obviously has expanded. Moving average has a positive slope, still expanding. Your vol is high in the upper zone. I mean, as you see, we had quite the volatility, so of course it's high. VPVR, you do have a level, like I said, at about 17,420. There is a VPVR spike at that level, so that's why I'm saying I would expect some sort of bounce around there in between 350 and 450. And if we break that level, like I said, back into the range. Now, the level to watch is 17K. If we break 17K, I would expect us to go all the way back down to the bottom of this range at 15,500. That is the inflection point. Okay, pay very close attention to that level if we get back down there. We do not want to break down below 17K if you are bullish. So that's the bearish case. The bearish case is that you start breaking down from here and you break 17K. Now, if you break the 100, you're probably going to go to the 200 and then probably go to 17K. I would expect bounces along the way, but like I said, 17K is the inflection point. Bullish case is that we break 18,200 on a 1 hour closure. Even a 4 hour closure, I'd like to see better. After that, I would expect us to go all the way up to, let's see here, 18,600. 1 second. Sorry about that. Forgot to turn my phone on silent. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete this green alert right here because we don't need this. And this one, because now there is a different inflection point. Yeah. So let's move on to the 4 hour. Okay, so here on your 4 hour, you are making higher highs, higher lows. Your moving averages are expanded. You are being held up by the 21 right now. So we could wick lower, like I said, maybe to 417,450, 17,420. You are exiting the bullish control zone right now, below your signal line. MACD curling over, getting that bounce, riding that zero line at first, but then you popped up, but now your positive momentum is waning a bit, starting to curl over. BBWP is falling, so your vol is contracting right now. If we cross this moving average to the downside, I would expect some sort of consolidation right here. Okay, so let's go to the order blocks. Okay, so we are finding support at this bullish demand zone. Did get a reaction from the 0.5 fib retracement. And we're going to find out whether we come down to the 618 at 17,422. All right, and I would expect some sort of reaction from there. If not a bear trap, that's a common bear trap area. Right now, your stochastic is pointed to the downside, coming down into those extreme zones. Looks like we could enter it, so we could have a little more downside here. Like I said, possibly down to the 618. So we're going to find out. Like I already went over the bullish and bearish cases, so let's move on to Ethereum. By the way, if you guys are liking this video so far, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description below. One being the Discord. It is the place to be. A lot of good conversation about trading, crypto, investing, and markets as a whole. Also, we do events every week. They're in the Discord, so definitely stay posted on those. Also, we share our trades and our strategies and our tips and rules in the Discord. Definitely join the Discord. It will up your trading knowledge. So here in Ethereum, did have a double top. Now we're forming an M pattern. Cross below the 50. We could come down to 1284. Possibly, maybe a little lower to 1295. We did stop at the 1300 level. Like we've been talking about. We've been talking about that 1300 level for a while. Now we kind of overshot the top of the box. Came up, had a double top, some sort of deviation. And now... yeah, it looks like we got rejected from this VPVR level right here. So we probably, we could get a bounce here at the 50, but I wouldn't be surprised if we came a little lower. You did just enter the bearish control zone on the RSI. Your MACD, fresh retest and resumption down. Negative momentum on the histogram is increasing as your BBWP is expanding. So your vol is going up as the price action is going down. So I could see a little more downside here for sure. Let's go over the bullish and bearish case. The bullish case is that you break these last highs at 1340 on a 1 hour closure. I would expect 1400 at that point. Bearish case is that you break the 200 and the POC point of control in the VPVR at about 1270. All right, 1270 on a 1 hour closure even. I would expect you to come all the way back down to the bottom of the red box at 1225. All right. So definitely stay nimble right now. This could just be a pullback, but like I said, if Bitcoin crosses 17K, we are fucked. Yeah, definitely. Let's move on to the order blocks and Fibonacci. Okay, so let's see what we have a reaction to so far. Okay, so let's go from here to here. Right now we are having a reaction basically at our last low. We could come down to the 1272, possibly get a wick down to there, maybe being held up by the 1295 level where that next order block is. It is a bearish order block, but a lot of times they act as support once you break them. So we are in the extreme zone, and we do have a lot of support here on the stochastic. So this could be the bounce. This could be the reversal point. You know what I mean? If we can get back above this bullish order block at 1315, I would expect us to come back up to these highs. And, then it's the question, do we get a triple top or do we break them? If we break 1344, that's what I would like to see, actually. 1344, 1 hour closure. 1400 is next. Bearish case is that we break down, like I said, below that 200, okay? And I would expect bounces along the way, probably at 1275, another one at 1265, another one at the last lows at 1240, but ultimately I think we would go back down to 1100 if we start breaking down through all these levels. That would be the next stop after 1240 would be 1100, and then, well, actually 1080, then 1000, you know, and then we'll come back to it. Let's move on to Solana. So Solana here turned around pretty nice. Still got rejected from our previous highs at 1497. Now we're coming back down to the 21 in this nice VPVR level we have here. I would expect some sort of bounce here. Actually, we could have already got the bounce. So next stop, if we break the 21, could be 1388, 1390, where that 50 is. Basically, the bearish case is that you break the POC and all these moving averages at about 1354 on a 1 hour closure. I would expect this to come all the way back down to these lows at 1277, but ultimately I think we would come back down to $11. Let's see, momentum oscillators. You did leave the bullish control zone after having no divergence, but you did leave the bullish control zone. MACD is coming down, curling back over. Are we going to get the cross to the downside, or are we going to get a little fake out retest like we did before and go up from here? It is possible. So if we hold the 21 and get back above this last high at 1471, next stop is $16. Actually, let's check that. Actually, it is 1670 region. So anywhere from 16 to 1670 would be what I'd be looking at there. All right, and like I said, bearish cases that you break the POC and all these moving averages at about 1355. I would even say 1356. Yeah, and then I would expect you to start breaking down, you know, working your way down to these lows, $13, and after that, $11. Oh, by the way, your BBWP is very high, and it's curling over as the price action's going down. This could be a corrective move, okay? So we could still come down to the 50, the 1388, and still be in good shape, still be making higher lows. All right, so, you know, stay nimble right now, and like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you want Bitcoin to go up, subscribe to the channel. Let it know you want it to go up. Yeah, definitely stay tuned. Turn on those bell notifications so you get notified with this time-sensitive content. Join the damn Discord. It's the place to be. I wish everyone well. Everyone have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, and I will see you tomorrow.